Who is cat? What is cat?
And just whimsy.
Hi, you're right, hi. Yeah, we're watching Garfield now. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Garfield movie review. And in this video, what makes it special is I'm staying up all night just to watch this film. And I'm watching this with my mates in the morning. And I thought it was a great idea to stay up all night. And as you can tell, I am very tired. You can also see it's 3:45 AM. It's also dark outside. So, if the film's that entertaining, I won't fall asleep in the cinema. I'm getting a 2-week advance screening. So, it should be good. So I was lucky enough to watch the Garfield movie early, thanks to my local cinema showing it in advance. I can't say I was that thrilled, to be honest, as the film looked pretty meh in my opinion. I wasn't going to pass up this opportunity, of course, and of course I wanted to like it. The film isn't even a Sony picture movie, which is surprising, because Sony distributed this movie. The actual animation company is DNEG, which also animated the film Nimona. Okay, fair enough. Well, I hope they make something good out of this. Garfield is a series that I don't really have much attachment to. I didn't really read the comics, and I sort of enjoyed the animated series as a kid, and that's about it. I never really liked those Bill Murray live action films. They were extremely bad. Well, from looking at the art style, I could see a film like this working. I think something like Garfield is suited way more for the animation medium. What is weird is that this film has already made a good chunk of money, and that's because it's been released in a lot of South American countries, so it seems like Garfield will be a smash hit. But is the film itself any good? Let's find out. Hey guys, now it's the morning. I don't know why I stayed up the whole time. I didn't really need to do that, to be honest, did I? Oh well, off to the cinema now, I guess. Hey guys, it's Garfield Day. I'm here with Sam. And I love Chris Pratt. I love the Mario movie. I love cinema. And we are at the Light Cinema. And it should be amazing.
I love the Garfield live action film with Bill Murray, so I'm quite excited for this.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying that. Yeah.
I love that.
Well, what's your what are you most looking forward to in this movie?
Probably just like the drama of it, you know, just like the pure like excitement.
The pure excitement.
And just whimsy.
Hi, you're right, hi. Yeah, we're watching Garfield now. Well, here we are guys, so we'll see you after the movie. Before I comment on the quality of the film, I'll quickly talk about my cinema experience. It was just families and their young kids, so I did feel a bit out of place in that screening. It didn't help that a child kept running around the cinema the whole time, and he also went up to the front of the screen and started dancing. Yeah, thanks for that, kid. And for the movie itself, I'm sad to report that I didn't like it. In fact, it wasn't just not good, but it's pretty terrible. Yeah, who would have thought? This film has many major issues, so I guess I'll just start off with the plot. Oh yeah, warning, there may be a few spoilers in this review. So Garfield meets up with his dad that left him when he was a baby, and they are then forced to do this milk heist because the villain hates them. And surprise surprise, they have 24 hours to complete this task. Didn't really expect that from a Garfield film, to be honest, and yeah, it doesn't work. The movie's plot is so nothing and yet also surprisingly convoluted at the same time. I would have actually preferred a simpler plot for a movie like this. The one they went with is just so formulaic and predictable. It felt like they were trying to tick the boxes of what makes an animated film work rather than making something different. There's also a subplot with these cows that love each other, and it's quite a big part of the movie. I hate the cows. They just always slow down the film. And they really try and make you care for them, but they're just so nothing that it makes me wonder why include them anyway. And there's also a side villain that shows up for like 5 minutes and it's just Dubois from Madagascar 3. She's so underutilized in this film that it's ridiculous. There's also a side plot with John trying to find his pets. He's also in it for like 5 minutes. He may as well have just not been in the film. There's just too much stuff going on at the same time and I really don't care for it. And this makes me think that the movie was going through production hell, because this script is just ridiculous. It's all over the place. It's like these subplots were added in when they realised that they needed to pan out the movie's runtime. And for a movie that has gangs of cats and a heist in it, it's surprisingly really bland and badly paced. I was desperate for the plot to move along, but whenever the plot started to move along a bit again, another boring subplot was added onto it. The plot builds up to a very boring climax on a train that is again just so dull. It's a film about Garfield, and I'm so surprised that they made this comedy so boring. And yeah, the film isn't funny, like at all. I maybe got one small laugh, but that was from a joke in the trailer. It's actually shocking just how boring this film really is. There's bizarre jokes like references to dating apps, and they literally say you should buy the premium subscription of them. Like, what? This is Garfield. Why is this product placement joke in this film? These companies paid money for that to be in the movie. It's just horrid advertisements. And yeah, it's a kids film. That one was for the mums taking their kids to this movie. There's a lot of great cat puns, such as, cat got your tongue, and that's perfect. There's so many painful meta jokes in this movie as well, as John says shit like, I hope I'm not using trigger words. This is the humour I'm dealing with in this film. If any of those jokes sound even slightly funny to you, I'm sure you'll love this movie. I was even going to praise this film for not having any liar reveals or anything, but they do a complete 180 and do like 3 of them. And there's also a misunderstanding subplot. It's just so tiring to see at this point. It's actually insulting to watch, man. They really try and make us feel for these characters, but it just comes off as lazy writing. They even have a manipulative, boring soundtrack with the slow piano notes. Like, I'm not being funny, but these moments were so unearned. Did they really expect people to cry at the Garfield movie? And sadly, the voice acting is all over the place for me. I don't think that Chris Pratt did that bad of a job. You know, he is fine as Garfield, and there could have been way worse picks for the character. Hannah Waddingham is actually quite good in this film, and she was the standout if you ask me. Renfield as John was a nothing pick really, as he's barely in the film. But the one that baffled me the most is Samuel L. Jackson as his dad. This is honestly an awful miscast. They don't use his talents in the slightest. They could have replaced him with literally anyone else and nothing would change. And it does hurt to say that about him, because he is such a great actor. Like, you couldn't see anyone else playing Frozone except him. And I think this just comes down to the quality of the direction and the script itself. The animation is fine, but it does look a bit cheap here and there. Like, some of the human models look really bad. But I think it just goes to show how little they cared about the movie. This is shown more with the end credits, as they're just so generic and lazy. It just rubbed me the wrong way a bit. I could see that they were trying to replicate the Peanuts movie animation, or a movie similar to that. But there's just so much less charm and creativity in this execution. Garfield is a movie that makes me even sadder for animation. It's almost baffling how generic and uninspired the whole film is. Apart from the animation, this film would have been outdated even 20 years ago. This stands for everything wrong with the worst parts of modern animated films. No longer do we get mature, interesting films such as The Incredibles and Ratatouille. Those movies entertain kids and adults just the same, but we rarely get shit like that anymore. Instead, we get crap like Kung Fu Panda 4, Garfield, and the upcoming Inside Out movie. And all those films have taken cost cuts to make more money. And all of them pander to only the mums and their babies going to the cinema, rather than telling a great story that general audiences will resonate for decades. It's just so depressing. Some of you may think I'm too harsh on this film, but I'm sorry, I've seen too many awful animated films at this point, and Garfield ticks almost all the boxes. So I'm with Charlie and Sam. What do you guys think of the film?
It's alright. It's like brain rot humour for people that don't get brain rot.
I thought it was terrible.
It's got a story, emotion, and heart.
And Chris Pratt.
And,
what more could you want?
And breaking the fourth wall.
Thanks for watching, guys.
It's junk. First class junk.